There we go, we're back. Hello everybody, welcome to the final day and the final game of the Retrothon. I'm sure that's how it's pronounced. We're playing Dungeons & Dragons for ye old arcadey gamey. This is the second of two Dungeons & Dragons arcade games that Capcom did. We are playing the second, which is Shadows over Mystara, or Mystaria. Mystara, I should say. But yes, as you can see that, Capcom logo, way back in 1996. It's balls hard. I'm going to throw that out right now. I am going to die a lot. If somebody could keep track of the continues, that would be great, because I really want to know. Because you die a lot. But thankfully, every time you put a coin in, somebody says, "Welcome to the D&D world," in a really nice, happy vibe to keep you going, I guess.
Alright.
But yes, so it's a great game, don't get me wrong. It is a fantastic game. It's sort of side-scrolling beat-em-up, so like Streets of Rage and Double Dragon, that kind of thing, but with D&D. Yeah. Which, you know, I am very pleased with. You also get a man going Dungeons and Dragons really, really slowly. We're going to be playing the Thief throughout, because the Thief, in my opinion, is the best character to play the game, because they help with traps a lot, I find. I don't know if that's actually a thing or just me thinking it is a thing, but it's fine. But I just really like the way the Thief plays, so we'll be playing as her.
Fair enough.
Basically.
Also, Thief looks kind of thick, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, it's double C all the way. In fact, triple C, possibly, on thick scale.
Excuse me, sir?
Hey, I can appreciate.
There are all the designs are really bizarre for this game. They're like proper RPG tropes. It's really weird. But this, yeah. So because this is an arcade game, it's, you know, coin guzzling galore, which you'd expect. But also really weirdly, during cutscenes, if you hold any of the buttons, it speeds up the gameplay. Like,
okay.
So if there's a cutscene going on, you can speed up the game to get more enjoyment out of your game. It's really weird.
Alright, speed tech. Let's go.
Yeah, basically. But there is, you know, there's all the staples of beat-em-ups. You've got special moves, you've got different moves depending on whether you're jumping. For example, you know, you can swipe down, you can slide, if I remember how to do it. There's dash moves, there's, you know, quarter circle moves, there's all sorts. It's actually quite an in-depth game with an XP system, funnily enough, which again is very, very D&D. And, you know, chests and weapons and magic and all sorts. So it's actually quite faithful to the original.
What happens if you end up rolling a natural 1?
Oh, instant death. You lose your coins, the cabinet blows up, you know, everything goes wrong. So, like I say, it's pretty standard, like I say, beat-em-up fare. It's not anything particularly grandiose or anything, but Capcom are pretty good at this. So,
oh yeah,
you know, they know what they're doing. You will have to give me a sec, because I'm just going to pause here, because I need to double check something. Because if you put a specific name in the name entry, you actually get a specific thing. And I had written it down, but I've lost it, so just bear with me 1 second.
Alrighty.
Because, for some bizarre reason, I'll explain why I'm doing this. So for some bizarre reason, there is a system for... There is a system for giving you items at the start of the game, but that depends on what you name your character, because each letter is relevant to a number. So, for example, like A is 0, M is 2, the number 3 is 8, and stuff like that. Each letter is assigned a score,
okay.
And then depending on what score you get, that then matches up to a letter in a table, which then determines the item you get. And there is one item that you really want to get, which is the helmet, because it gives you a defense boost and can't break. A lot of the items in this game can break as you go. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with Enya, E-N-Y-A. So E-N-Y-A, which will give us the required type, in theory, to get us a helmet. Again, really weird system, but you see now in the bottom left, we now have a helmet. because we've got such a great name.
Alright.
Oh god.
Such a great name. But yes, like I said, that gives you a permanent defense boost, which is really handy. Also, yes, because someone's asking, this is Retrothon. So that's always really handy. There are other items you can get, like some of them will give you like a slight boost, but they're breakable items, which aren't as good, obviously, as an unbreakable defense boost. So,
Well, yeah, that does sound pretty nice, to be honest.
this game has like a bizarre sort of subset of secrets. It's really strange. Also, like I said earlier, really balls hard. So
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, the only healing you get is from potions, which are the little blue things. I picked one up earlier. And you can get those either by finding them in chests, certain enemies will drop them. I think if you level up, you get a health boost as well. But other than that, you're pretty much stuck with what you've got. So the fact I've got very little health right now isn't great. But you know what? It'll be fine. We'll work with it.
It's all for the kids.
Exactly. It's all for the kids. Oh, there's one. There we go. Give me a health boost.
And speaking of for the kids, just a reminder, this is the last game of the HFC Retrothon. This is it, folks. We're on the last one. We have spent the past week and a couple days raising money for Child's Play charity. They provide toys and games to kids stuck in hospitals for long stays to ease their time in said hospital. And wow, that's what an owlbear looks like, huh?
Yes, it is. Yes.
You know, I've never actually seen a picture of one.
They're quite weird.
I thought it was like some weird, like, griffin.
No,
thing
no,
or-
they are just bears with the owl, face of an owl, basically. So it's a bit strange.
Alright, well, if you would like to help us finish off the Retrothon with some donations, you could either use the donate button that is below the stream, or type !donate in chat, which will cause the Nightbot to pop up a link, which will take you to the donate page. We don't have any incentives going on because, of course, this is the last game, so, you know, at this point, it's all just for the kids. And we're trying to raise as much as we can.
You know, bet on how much I'm going to die. You know, that could be a thing. Cool, so start again. So there's one down.
So is it going to pop you back on this,
oh,
on
yeah,
this
yeah.
boss?
Yeah, yeah. Every time you die, you are, and you continue, you're brought back with, obviously, full health, and all the enemies on screen take a small amount of damage.
That seems broken.
It's a very small amount. It's really not that helpful.
I mean, the boss just kind of took, like, a third of its health bar.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, this boss is horrific, and this is only the first one.
Well, no, I'm saying the boss took a third of its health bar from you hitting a continue.
Oh, right. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
It
It's usually not that
lost
forgiving.
like a third.
Yeah, it's not that forgiving usually.
Okay.
I see. Sorry, I see what you're saying now. I got confused.
So, Damus has created a command for your deaths.
Excellent. May it be bountiful and large. You won't survive this attack. Chew on this. Jump straight over. It's
Oh boy.
So terrible. It's so terrible.
We have $300
Good lord.
from Flame.
Wow.
As given we're at the tail end, I think now's a good time to pay in the money I've been saving since last year. Thanks for the great marathon, all. Thank you very much,
wow.
Flame. That is awesome.
And I've just leveled up as well. Good vibes all around.
That puts us
Somewhere.
Hang on. That puts us at £3,173.69.
nice.
I like the fact that we have 69 pence.
Yeah,
I like that
that's also Flame's doing, I believe. Anytime someone changed the amount of cents, he did that.
You put it back again.
Yeah.
What a lad.
So yeah, that's it.
I meant dollars, sorry. I'm used to saying pounds. Sorry.
Thanks to that, we have of course broken $3,000. So congratulations, everyone. We absolutely decimated the goal that we were aiming for this year.
Yeah, wow.
This is absolutely amazing. We couldn't have done it without all of you. And it actually makes me super excited for next year's marathon, which I believe there's going to be a special little thing about that later on. Maybe
there is. So you may have noticed that I'm picking up keys sometimes. I've currently got 2. They're up in the top left. To this day, I actually have no idea what they're for. They are obviously used for something. I believe they're secrets later on. They're secret rooms. But I've never actually paid attention to my key count going up or down because it's just a thing in the side. But yeah, it's just a thing, really. You may also have noticed earlier that we had like a choice. So we could have gone on land and taken this cart, which is what we're doing obviously now, or we could have gone down the river on the boat. Which would have meant less enemies, but a faster trip. Oh, sorry, a slower trip, something like that.
But it means you get to the Willamette Valley safely.
Exactly. Yeah. We are currently on the trail to Oregon Hell. The
D&D Oregon.
D&D Oregon.
Oregon Trail Extreme.
I want a Dungeons and Dragons campaign of Oregon Trail.
No. Can't even anything worse.
You don't want to add like natural ones into the equation.
Roll to find out which disease you get.
You can get sort of stun locked in this game quite a lot as well. The thing that keeps popping up, the sort of the wheel I keep making happen, is your items. So you get sort of rings and other special magical items, as well as things like hammers, arrows, and daggers, which you can select with, in my case, the triangle button, but it's like the D button on the arcade cab, and then use them with square. So the special items that you get, you can buy them from shops, or you can, find them on the ground. At the minute, I currently have the 2nd level sword, which you usually get by leveling up, but I managed to pick it up from a boss, which is really handy actually, because it's nice to have early on. But you get like burning oil, like say daggers, things like that, which certain things can be useful against certain monsters. But I find that just having a sword is better.
Go. That would be extremely harsh. You just arrive at Oregon and then it's just like a mimic.
The state of Oregon is just a giant mimic.
Oh god, we've got to the Willamette Valley. We've opened up our deed. We've got a new land. It's a trapped treasure chest. Oh god. Yes, I did used to stream D&D actually. I still play it. But we did.
Yeah, Silver Dude is asking if you would be up to doing proper D&D streams again.
Do you know what? I wouldn't be, I don't think. Having streamed it before, it was a lot of fun, don't get me wrong, but the setup and just kind of trying to keep it flowing is not worth the effort, in my opinion. Things like, Critical Role, High Rollers, the big streams, worked, have professional people behind them, for one, and also already had like a big following to begin with. So they're, the fact that they're so prolific kind of helps them out, because it keeps them running a lot better than smaller D&D streams do, which is, a commonplace thing in Twitch. It's not just for D&D, it's just, if you're a streamer on Twitch, you're less likely to be as popular as somebody who's got clout for it. And like I say, the same can be said for D&D. It also, I find it's a lot less fun when you stream it, because a lot of it is in the spontaneity, and you kind of lose that having to keep an eye on the stream at the same time. So it's, like I say, it was fun, but I don't think I'd do it again.
Well, as far as keeping an eye on the stream, something that could help that is, the people that are actually in the campaign just kind of focus on the game, and then you have another person to read the chat when there's a lull.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But I mean, if you don't feel like it, then you don't feel like it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, like I said, it was good while it lasted, but I just don't think it would work.
That's fair enough. Nat and I have been working on a few things, so we might do a campaign of our own at some point. But,
that'll be a long.
It would definitely be a while from now.
I'm still working on the world building and stuff, like very early stages of it. So it'll probably be like at least 2, maybe 3 years, because I'm just taking my time with it so I don't burn myself out.
I had something that I was working on, but I've kind of stalled on it for pretty much a whole year now. I might get back to it at some point.
Sounds about right.
Because I do think it was a neat idea, but I don't know.
What was the idea again?
That was basically, I had two ideas that I wanted to do. One was basically adapting Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door into a D&D campaign, because I love the story and locations of that game. And the other one was an actual original story, well, sort of, that was kind of similar to the Duelist Kingdom arc of Yu-Gi-Oh! I guess, and that all the characters would basically, you know, be taken to an island and have sort of a almost battle royale kind of thing against each other, and whoever wins, you know, wins and things like that. I was still kind of working on stuff. I had a lot of the characters and enemies made up, because instead of having, you know, random monsters appearing, you would be fighting against other almost like player characters, but of course they would be NPCs.
Yeah, you'd have NPCs made up. Yeah.
So that was my idea. It was kind of a mix between the Duelist Kingdom Island and that one episode of Teen Titans where they got dragged into the alternate dimension and forced to fight the master or whatever that could absorb powers. If anyone remembers that episode. I don't remember the villain's name of that one.
Not D&D, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
The Harpy is possibly one of the worst fights in the game. If you don't get like a good combo off the bat, you get... So I'd like to point out that the Shadow Elves have got some of the best costume design I've ever seen. I absolutely love their design in this game. But the Harpy fight can go on a lot longer than it needs to, partially because you've got, I think it's Talarian, this dude in the back throwing fireballs, who is another boss later on. You've got the Harpy who can swing in and out of the screen, pick you up, can sit in the middle of the screen and like flap their wings, or their wings I guess, to cause, you know, like a gush of wind that stops you from attacking her. Summon Shadow Elves all the time. It's just a bit of a mess of a fight, and you have to try and keep up with it. Which can be quite difficult when you've got a lot of items in the way, because your attack and pick up item buttons are the same button.
Ooh.
Because of course they are.
Ooh, I hate when games do that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure if you were picking up items or teabagging on her right there.
Oh yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, that's, you know...
Both.
This is the thing. It's a dual purpose button. So this is another thing this game likes to do, is essentially put you in back-to-back fights. So I've just finished off the Harpy and got my bits and pieces for that. Notice that my health hasn't been recharged. Certain fights will recharge your health, thankfully, but notice that it hasn't this time.
I mean, that's pretty D&D standard. Your health doesn't automatically refill after a boss, unless you have a friendly DM.
Also, I've just realised I've lost my level 2 sword whilst teabagging all those items, which is mildly irritating.
Oh.
So we'll have to fight Talarian just as is. But he is an arse, because he can cast fireballs, he can cast haste, which is when he like goes sort of weird wibbly wobbly, and like attacks a lot and hurts a lot. He can cast fireball, he can summon skeletons, he can do absolutely all sorts, and he's just a pain. Mostly because skeletons are just kind of like there. You can like ignore them and go straight for him, but they do come for you eventually, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's fast, he hits hard, you don't hit him that hard, and this is literally the 4th boss fight. So it's not great. The best part about playing the Thief is that every now and again when she gets back up, she goes, "Is that your best?" in a really weird voice. Just occasionally. She did it there as well. So yes, this is what I mean when this game takes like coins from you. This game, I'm convinced, was designed to be a coin stealer. It really was. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a great game, and you know, has some great aspects of D&D built into it. But it's a Capcom beat 'em up at its core, which means it's unfair. It's brutally unfair.
So, What would be the most broken class in D&D in your opinion?
Depends on how you play it. Oh, also Tel'arin just throws you down to 1 HP because he can. It depends, like, because you can multi-class. So, to be fair, Bard's like ridiculously powerful if you build it right because it can steal spells from everywhere else.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoy playing Bard. So I'd say Bard has the most potential, to be honest. That green guy there was short waiter, by the way. Keep an eye on him. But the ship's going down. I leveled up, but that's irrelevant because the ship's going down.
Because I think me and Spa have more experience with Pathfinder.
Oh yeah, I played a bit of Pathfinder, yeah.
The campaign that we're currently in, like, one of the players is like, God, what's kineticist?
Oh yeah.
Kineticist is
broken.
Like, it's insane. They do like upwards of 70 or 80 damage per turn with very little downside. I mean, granted, their AC is like 12, I think.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter when nothing can live long enough to approach. And then we also have, I think he's a sorcerer?
Yeah.
Or something, who regularly does, you know, quite a bit of damage as well, or will transform himself into a dragon, things like that. Meanwhile, Matt's a healer, and I'm just a lowly little, God, I don't even remember what I am. I'm a cavalier. I'm basically a warrior with a horse. Or a fighter with a horse, rather.
Secrets.
Ooh.
Look at this shit. So, as you know, as D&D go. Oh, by the way, the chest that has the very large and obvious skull on top of it is chapped. You can open it, but just be prepared to move out of the way. It's like that. Some of the traps are lethal, so like one of them is a petrification beam. That if you get hit by it, you have to like waggle the stick to get out of it. Otherwise, you just straight up die. Some of them are just like flame traps. Some of them are arrows. You know, it's your bog standard fare. But one of them will literally kill you. So you've got to be very careful.
So you only see the traps while playing a thief, right?
I believe so. That's. I mean, I've only played a thief, and that's all I've seen. So, ooh, I will, however, have that axe, or maybe not. Can I take the axe? Oh, there we go. Hell yeah! Got as a hand axe, lads. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, you can only see them as a thief in advance. Which is, like I said, one of the reasons I play it, but I'm not actually sure if that's the case because I've only ever played the thief.
So what was the trap on that one?
Just a bunch of knives that came out.
Oh.
And sliced you.
So it damaged you? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So this stage is kind of like where we go, look at all the extra stuff we can put in the background to really, really put you off your game. You want some cool stuff? Hey, have some cool stuff.
Here, have like 7 enemies.
Basically, yeah. Ghouls are kind of really irritating. So ghouls are really irritating because if they touch you, so when my thief kind of went down on one knee, they can paralyze you. Like now, they just paralyze you and sort of start to eat you. The paralyzation doesn't actually do any damage, it's just a pain. Because it means obviously you can't move. Oh, there's the petrify beam that we just avoided. On the plus side, let's see what I can get rid of. This.
It seems like a nice looking sword.
Yeah. So this is, I'll see what it's called. So this is apparently a level 2 normal sword. Oh man. Oh my god. Sorry, these guys are absolutely kicking my ass. There we go. We're in. We got it. Oh no, it's the cursed sword. I remember this. So it's a lot stronger, and you can use it, but every now and again it will just stop you moving when you try and use it. It's basically a chance that you'll hit, or a chance you'll get stopped. Essentially, it's a bit. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain. So I'm just going to use the hand axe instead because that's much easier.
Yeah, because I don't think you can get the other sword that you dropped back.
No. Oh, to be fair, I hadn't really picked anything up. The hand axe is another item. So the items I've currently got. Oh yeah, there you go. Curse sword. So I've got arrows, normal sword, sling, curse sword, burning oil, and the hammer, and the hand axe that I currently have with me. So I can swap out between my normal sword and my hand axe, or the curse sword. But like I say, curse sword is great, hits a lot harder, but it has a very high chance of just stopping you randomly.
Yeah,
So,
that doesn't seem good.
No, maybe not one to use a lot. Also, troglodytes, which are a thing in D&D. So I've got to be really careful now, because I don't want to lose my sword.
They look like the Sahajin from 14.
They do a little bit. Yeah, I have a feeling that might be where they got the idea from. So, the thing I just picked up is Lightning Bolt, which is a magic ring. Magic is very useful in this game for certain enemies. For certain things like Beholders, and some of the bosses are immune to normal damage. So you have to use magic on them. The problem is that magic is incredibly inaccurate if you're not a spellcaster. Because there are clerics, there is a wizard, I believe, and so there are spellcasting classes which are a lot better at it, but if you're using items such as the Ring of Lightning Bolt and stuff like that, you have to be spot on with it to really do any decent damage. Oh, speaking of...
Lord Londar says, if I recall correctly, you can remove the curse from the sword and it becomes a Holy Avenger.
Ooh. I did not know that. I just knew it was a cursed sword.
This is a weird looking beholder.
It absolutely is. I just used my ring at the wrong time as well. So when the beholder's not looking, when he's got his eyes closed, you can use magic on him. Otherwise, if his eyes are open, it will just nullify the effect straight away. Like, I just wasted that lightning bolt basically because I got the timing slightly wrong.
Okay.
So he's not a great fight. I'm not gonna lie. He's just kind of an arse, as is most of the bosses in this game. But you know what? It's fine. We'll make do. We seem to be doing alright. I am going to die, there we go. But we seem to be doing alright.
I mean, do you just have infinite continues because you're playing on an emulator?
I absolutely do, yes. I can just put as many coins in as I want. So.
Oh, well, that's fine, I guess.
Yeah, there we go.
Wonder how much money these arcade machines made.
Oh, a lot, I imagine, for this.
Even if it was like a quarter per continue, they had to make a ton of money.
Oh, yeah.
Just from how many you'd have to do to get anywhere.
Oh, hello, lady. I heard only one who serves an immortal can release the curse. There you go, look at that, you see? Look. Something about a curse. Alright. I can't remember what she said about the curse, but... She's not for sale, apparently, everybody. We can't buy the lady. Yeah, someone who is immortal, something like that. If somebody can look up how to remove that curse, that would be really handy, actually. Just so I can try and look for it, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, can you let me know when we get close to the end so I can throw a message at Tom, by the way?
Yes, yeah, that's fine. It'll be there's a final boss with a huge red dragon, so you'll know when it's about time.
Alrighty.
Not a single adventurer who has seen the huge tree has come back safely. Oh no, not the tree. So, remember when I said that this game likes to put you in boss battle after boss battle after boss battle? Yeah, I've just come off the Beholder and I'm now fighting Manticore instead, so... It's not very forgiving in that regard. Again, Capcom, 80s arcade games, unfair. These words all go together.
I mean, this one seems like so much more than any other beat 'em up I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, this is one of the reasons I enjoy it so much, is because there's just so much to it. There's the whole leveling system, there's the whole class system, there's all the boss fights. There's all the boss fights, and each character has certain things. So, for example, there's a shield bash move that only certain characters can use because they have shields. The thief can look for traps as far as we're aware, and stuff like that. So each class has something different, and even the fact that they've got an item system based on the name you give your character is quite impressive.
Okay.
It's just so much to it, and the thing is that, so there was, shit, I can't remember what the first D&D game was called, it's Tower of something. And that one's good, but Shadow of Mystara added so much more to it, and is just ultimately the better game for it. So much content in this one, it's untrue. It's okay, we keep it on score. All's right with the world. With 11 seconds of bonus times is there. So this rest time, essentially if you beat the bosses fast enough you get like a bit of extra XP. It's very rare that you'll beat the bosses fast enough.
Yeah.
But it's a nice little bonus.
Okay, well, it is very cold, so I'm going to turn my heater on. I'll be back in a second.
Probably a good idea, yeah.
Just currently looking up how to remove the curse from the sword.
Thank you kindly. Because that would be handy, because I've never actually got that. I only found out about all the secrets in this game literally like yesterday when I was looking for stuff. I never realised that like the doors that I found, I never realised they were there.
According to the guide, a cleric has to try and pick up the sword 8 times, and it just turns into the Holy Avengers.
Oh,
so
that's annoying. Tower of Doom, thank you, Dan. That's kind of annoying. I could swap to a cleric, but I think you lose all your items. Can't remember. That's really annoying. I mean, that sounds like a really stupid way of doing it, which is absolutely accurate for this game. But
yeah, I mean that sounds accurate to D&D.
Yeah. So how do I remove this curse? You drop it a few times. Okay, cool. Thanks.
How do I change classes? Literally give up everything you've done until now.
See, thankfully, class changing in this is a lot easier. You just have to put another coin in and choose a different class. Every time you die, you can choose a new character.
Oh, okay.
Which is very handy.
But you said you lose your items?
I think you might lose the items you've got, yeah, and I think you lose some of the levels you have as well.
Alright.
And I've just found it to be not very useful, because I'll be honest, clerics aren't great. I mean, in actual D&D they're fabulous, but in this game they're not great. They don't hit very hard, and their magic's kind of meh. They're pretty good against undead, obviously, being a man of the clergy. But other than that, I haven't found them to be particularly useful. Like, Thief just is a nice all-rounder who plays really nicely, hits relatively hard, and is fairly versatile. So it's just the one I've always gone with when I played this on an actual cabinet or when I played it myself. Familiarity.
It seems like there's very little in the way of dodging. You kind of just take
You would be correct. Yeah, you can slide, and you can crouch. If I hold down like that, you can crouch, and you can still attack like this. But they're not very good for mobility's sake.
Yeah.
And they're a bit awkward to do because, so for example, there's a dash attack which you can do, but it's a quarter stick forward and then the attack button.
Okay.
And I always find quarter stick movements very hard to do personally.
Yeah.
But there's a few separate things like that. Like the slide's quite good for running over to items before they disappear. I'm going to use this cure series until I die. So they do have uses, but I just don't use them a lot because I'm not very good at executing the combos. There's things like how in Streets of Rage you have those items that call in a police strike, but hurt you in the process. That kind of thing. This has that as well, where there is a desperation attack that basically takes off a little bit of your HP for every enemy you hit, but hits all the enemies around you. So it's kind of useful, but not in most situations you wouldn't really find a use for it, which is a shame.
Dave, I already have that guide open.
Is it? Oh shit, Petrify Beam. Is it? Oh, so it's like an old-looking website. Because that's the one I've got, and it's quite So this thing I've just picked up, the egg. I can't remember what the W stands for, but that summons a friendly owlbear that lasts about 5 seconds.
Oh, fun.
It's quite handy while it lasts, but it will just disappear very quickly.
5-second owlbear. All right.
Basically, yeah. Gargoyles are immune to non-magic attacks. Thank you, random person who put this sign up. It's a good thing I don't have magic attacks. So, the story of this game is very loose, as you'd expect. Basically, Mystara
have
is
we seen story yet?
Oh yeah, there are cutscenes. Don't get me wrong, there are cutscenes and everything. But the world of Mystara, which is the one that we're currently in, is currently being plagued by this curse. Hence the shadows over it in the title. And we, as loyal adventurers, are fighting the good fight and going to go and kill the lady responsible for the curse. So, you know, standard D&D starter edition fare. But it's a life. That's all I'm at.
I'm being called away, so I'll be back in a few minutes.
No problem. Not much will have changed. Still finding shadow elves. Do I actually have anything magical? Technically do. Look at these gargoyle motherfuckers. You see, so that lightning bolt, like, took them down to almost no HP, but because I don't have a magical weapon, I can't take down the rest of their HP. It's really irritating.
That's annoying.
Yeah, it takes out just enough that you think they're dead, but they're actually not. So, alas, we'll move on. I've got 6 keys. I still don't know what they're for. This platform looks like you can get on it. You can't. It doesn't take you to a secret bonus level, as far as I can tell. It's not like Crash.
So, like, are the fireballs just appearing as you walk along the stairs?
Yes, they are sort of a trap. They will hurt you if you walk into them. But they're fairly easy to avoid, as you can see. Oh, Egg of Wonder. Thank you, Wonder. That was it. So, you might have noticed as well that I've got a bunch of items in the bottom left, including, you know, like the hood I picked up earlier and things like that. Most of them will break, so at random points you'll see, like, this item has broken appear up at the bottom. Each item does have, like, a use. So, for example, the, you know, like I say, the hood that I got at the start boosts your defense. The earrings, I can't remember what they do. I think they boost your HP overall. The fancy dangly boots that I've got, which are in the thirds, are because I'm a thief. And the thief is the only one who can double jump, which is what those boots give you. Don't think it has any real practical use other than looking quite cool, but it's sort of useful for some of the bosses later on that kind of have large areas of annoyance. Let's see if I can get rid of this because it's more useful. Open up this chest. Get the lightning bolt. Yeah, that's 2. Curse sword, don't know. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, that's right, you fucking tell that flame. That's right. I'm just getting hit by the flames, it's just like, is that your best? But yes, it is. Touch of a lich will paralyse you, leaving you helpless. Spoilers, that's advice for the next boss fight. Because they had to throw a lich in here. Or a little... Ta-da! There he is. This will take me a few tries. But don't worry, because I have an Egg of Wonder. I can have an owlbear come and help me. When I can actually get an attack in.
For an entire 5 seconds.
I mean, that's how much it was last time I had it. There we go. There he is. What a good boy. He's doing nothing right now. He's doing absolutely nothing. There he goes. Go on, son. This is the most useless. This is the most useless companion I've ever had in any video game ever. Oh, they're saying that. No, now he's doing stuff. Look at him go. So the main problem with the Lich is that A, he summons ghouls, which are really annoying. He himself can teleport a lot, which makes him really hard to hit, and both him and the ghouls will paralyse you if they touch you, so you kind of have to be a distance fighter, which for a thief with a hand axe, or whatever I've got right now, isn't great. Also meteors. A lot of meteors. I must admit, I seem to be complaining about this game quite a lot. I do love it. I think this is a wonderful game. It's just unnecessarily difficult. Like, you know, there was no need for it to be this hard, really. There we go. I got a shield. Can't use it, but I got a shield. Yeah, so I can pick it up, but I can't actually use it. So. There you go, no bonus. Surprise, surprise. Absolutely no bonus. Oh no, I've been put to sleep by the big evil lady. Oh no. But I reached level 60, so it's fine. Oh yeah, there's Displacer Beast as well, which will show up in a minute, which brings another set of gameplay mechanics. One of the things I do enjoy, I must admit, is that, you know, each boss does have something different. So it's not just like copy and paste. Like, they've actually kept them true to their D&D versions. So for example, like, you know, the Harpy has, you know, all the aerial attacks, which paralyzes you on touch. The Displacer Beast, you know, has 2 forms, that kind of thing. So it's really accurately done. And speaking of, here he is now. The trick to the Displacer Beast is that the real one has a shadow, the fake one doesn't, which is what that sign just told you. So those signs are actually really quite useful to have. You are very likely to forget how to use them though, because they're just there, they just exist. You have to like go up to them and press attack to do it. But yeah, otherwise this is a fairly simple fight. The Displacer Beast does take a lot of damage. He's like a big old sponge, essentially. Has both ranged attacks and short range melee, which makes it a bit of a pain. The goblins keep throwing burning oil down, which is quite a common tactic for the boss fights in this game. Is that the ads, the sort of the mugs that pop up are the more annoying part. So it's kind of a battle of attrition really between, do you just go for the boss and ignore the ads, or do you try and take off the ads but risk being hit by the boss? So it's tactics in massive quotation marks, because it's like, do I die faster or do I die slower? You know, there's no in between. Also, yes, I could bring in a cleric as a second player. You guys are absolutely right. I do not have a second controller plugged in, and I'm not stopping the marathon to do that. I'm not that bothered.
So is it just like 2 beasts that are fighting in unison, or...?
No, it's one. So the Displacer Beast is a creature that, in actual like D&D game mechanics, essentially, its fur is like an illusion. So in game, you fight a Displacer Beast with disadvantage, basically. And you can skin its cloak to use as a cloak of displacement, which then gains advantage against enemies. In reality, like when you're actually putting it in front of people, all it does is just duplicate itself as an illusion. It's an illusionary beast, basically.
Okay.
So, like I say, only one of these is real. That eye is important, and I need it. There we go. So, Eye of the Displacer Beast. I can trade that later on for a very useful item. So, some of the bosses will drop really, really handy items. There is a gnome who's just appeared, but she's currently hidden by the Displacer Beast. But we are going to go to the gnome village because I believe this is where we can trade the Displacer iron. And there's all this such handy stuff in there. Help in searching hidden rooms. There you go. That's what it's for. Super hidden. I'll take that. It's probably just don't have much time on these.
So what does the burning oil do?
So the burning oil, you throw it down and it literally just creates a small flame on the floor. The large burning oil does it in sort of a wave, which is quite handy for larger enemies. But it's just really useful for sort of helping to clear a screen as well, because it runs from left to right or right to left. So if you've got everyone in a line, it's quite handy to deal a lot of damage at once. But unfortunately, most of the time, enemies are surrounding you rather than lined up. So it has very limited use, and I tend to not use them a lot. But they're good for boss fights where the boss can stand still for a few seconds. So it's quite handy. God, this death count is going up mental. It's the I've realised it's the it's not the eye I was thinking of, it's the fur. So if you get the fur from that boss fight, you can trade it in for the cloak, I believe. And
I'm back.
Hello. I think you can do something with the beholder as well. If you manage to get an item from the beholder, I think you can trade that in somewhere. So, there is sort of replayability.
Do we happen to have an ETA on about how much longer this will take?
Off the top of my head, no, because I don't know what stage I'm on right now. I'd say... I'd say I'm around about halfway, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Okay.
I just don't know the stage map that well.
So probably about another hour or so?
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay, I'll say about that much to Tom.
Yeah, just off the top of my head. But I could be short, could be longer. Unfortunately, I've completely lost what stage I'm on. Picking up the axe earlier was a very good choice, and I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, the axe seems to be doing pretty good work.
The axe is doing very well. Because I now have like a normal sword level 3 because I'm, level 17, so I got my standard sword is stronger, but I think the hand axe is even stronger still, and I don't really lose that much like speed of attack or anything like that.
Also seems like it has more reach.
It does actually. You're right. I think you're right. Yeah. It's, I don't have to get quite as up close and personal. And it's still combos, which is one of the major things about the sword you start with, is that I think some of the heavy weapons later on stop you comboing with them, which is a little bit annoying.
It seems like your character likes to do a kick after the first swing, which doesn't have nearly as much range.
No, if you're too far away for a weapon combo, they'll do the standard swing, I think. But no, the kick absolutely doesn't have as much reach.
That reminds me of, at the very end of Prince of Persia Sands of Time, you get a sword that will one-hit any of the sand monster enemies. Oh, right. But the prince loves to not use that and instead kick them, which does very little damage in comparison. So it's just like, yeah, why?
Cryax in chat has made a very good point. The thief holds every weapon she has backwards. So if you notice when I walk, she's currently holding the axe the wrong way around because she swings it overhead rather than like in front of her. Same with the sword, same with any of the other weapons you get. Which is just, in my opinion, a much more badass way of living life.
She's basically Ventus, though.
Tara, no! It's okay, no whiny children in this game.
Who's this sassy lost child?
Who's this sassy lost child, and can you please pick them up from the information desk? It's just, like I say, this game is great. I have absolutely nothing but love for this game, but it's kind of a slog. Some of the enemies aren't great, and a lot of it's just like unnecessarily painful, and I don't quite understand why. I mean, I do understand why. It's because Capcom wanted to make money.
Yeah, well.
But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Chimera! These orange potions, by the way, there is one that gives you more strength, which is the one I have now, just to make sure attacks do more damage, simple as. And there is one that essentially gives you the effect of haste, which means you attack faster and move faster. You don't do any more damage, but you can do more attacks in the same amount of time. I personally find the haste potion to be a lot more useful.
Yeah,
but
I just want to point out. the Chimera is almost a copy paste of the Manticore sprite.
Yes, it absolutely is. Yes.
Yeah.
They've just jammed a couple of heads on it.
I think they changed out the tail as well for a snake tail.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but yes, the body is absolutely the Manticore through and through. Yeah. But you know what? If you've got the sprites, use them.
Yeah, I guess. It's not like today's RPGs don't reuse assets. So.
No. Say it isn't so. Non-unique assets in my RPGs, how they?
I mean, it saves time and money.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing unless
but Capcom are cashing in all those arcade dollars. They don't need
money.
I
really don't think it's a bad thing even in today's games, unless they do it just out of pure laziness.
Yeah, and when it's like really obnoxious. But,
yeah.
You know, it's fine. One of the biggest problems I must admit with this game is the fact that a lot of the bosses have like invisibility frames.
Yeah.
You can't really tell when they're doing that, other than just trial and error. Like, the other problem as well is that obviously because you are 2D sprites on a 3D on essentially what is a 3D plane, sometimes it can be quite hard to tell if you're actually hitting them or not, especially if you're in the air at the time. So I find that you'll notice that I haven't really done many aerial attacks. I kind of find them a bit difficult to pull off. They're just not really that useful. And you know, in the long run, are you going to drop anything new, or is it just money? It's just money. Cool. And a silver arrow, why not?
And the Chimera's down.
No bonus.
Only took 3 continues.
Yep. But on the plus side, I've saved the gnome village, so this man's very happy about it. So what we now get is, so if we spend some money, which I'm absolutely going to do because it doesn't actually cost you any money, you get a little potion of diminution, and you can now go inside the goblin village and walk around for like a minute. It's really cool.
I love the fact that like the picture of the gnome celebrating, there was like a gnome in the back that was just punching another gnome.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
So I just noticed at the top there's another thing that says join in, insert coin. So I imagine this was an arcade cabinet with co-op.
It was, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can play 2 players, and each person can have a different class.
Nice.
Is this the shop? Oh, here it is. Hello, lady. Hello, lady. Hello, lady. Hello, lady. Okay. So, this lady sells like all the super special items.
Why are you poking that lady's breasts?
I was just poking a lady in general, alright?
Well, I mean...
That's what they all say.
Now then, unfortunately I can't actually afford the bastard sword, which is a real shame because it's quite good. Grab a lightning bolt on it. But yeah, so this shop is kind of like the special items. And then there's this little guy. Hello! So there are 2 shops in here. You can't actually talk to the gnome, no matter how much you prod him, which is a shame. Because I enjoy nothing more than prodding gnomes, apparently. Go into the cave of Raphael, then take this with you. A floating stone.
The shop has a time limit. Well, obviously, you're on an arcade game, so they want you to, get on with it.
Yeah,
so
basically,
you're not spending all your time there.
Yeah.
And also, you do have a limited time for the shrinking potion that you took to actually get there.
Yeah, thankfully the 2 are unrelated. But once you go into the shop, that is it. You can't explore the village anymore. But the main thing about that village is the shop, so that's fine. This is an interactive falling segment. You can move left and right as you go 100 floors underground.
How does the thief not end up breaking her legs when she lands?
Magic.
Just kneecaps of steel.
Also, rather annoyingly, I think the platforms that I've missed on the way down, I think you can hit them and go into secret areas, but I can't remember. And I am really annoyed with myself because I think they are a thing, but we'll see. Seems to be 2 ways to get to the castle in the distance. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm going to go over the stone bridge over the sea of lava because I hate the frozen world. It's a pain in the ass. Stage 9A. So, as you've obviously noticed from the fact that, like I say, there are multiple branching paths, there are a lot of ways through this game. Ultimately, you end up at the same end point. So it's not like Outrun or anything, there's not 5 endings. But you know, you can finish it however you want, and it's quite nice that there's still a branching system. You know, except it doesn't really do much in this grand scheme of things, but choice is always a good thing to give players, even if it's fake choice.
Lord Lundar says the second cursed sword was in one of those areas you missed.
Oh, okay. Oh, well. I'm not that fussed, I've got an axe.
Yeah.
But thank you for telling me. I'm going to save this Cure Serious Wounds ring because I'm about to die anyway. So. And my coins are unlimited, so it doesn't matter in the slightest.
Yeah, really.
You may notice that I now have a Rod of Fire in my inventory as well. Because I'm not a magic user, that's useless to me, but I still have it. So, just nice to own.
Yeah, fair enough.
At the end of the game, there is like a screen that tells you all the stuff you picked up. So there's actually quite, you know, it's quite interesting that they keep track of all this stuff. Like I say, even though you can't really use it. But it's quite funny because the boots that I have as the thief. Keep going, don't turn back. I'm gonna turn back. I can't turn back. So the boots that I have as a thief, the ones like me double jump, they count as an item on that list at the end, but only the thief can have them. No other character will ever get those items, which is quite amusing.
Okay.
And I think there's like 100 things to get. It's ridiculous.
You know, there's like probably one where use the thief can have the Rod of Fire or the Fire Rod. They can just use it as a fancy walking stick.
Not fire trap. Oh, this looks useful. Oh, Ring of Fire Resistance? Absolutely. Yes, please.
Oh, yeah, well, that sounds useful right about now. A lot better than the Fire Rod.
Especially because there's a Flame Salamancer whose health starts off so large it doesn't show up on screen.
Oh, alright.
It only takes like a couple of hits to get it down, it's fine.
Sounds like the KH1 secret bosses, but yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Thankfully, the magic of like... Oh, the ring got broken. Okay, never mind.
Oh.
That didn't last very long.
Okay.
Yeah, the items in this game do not last very long at all. Flame Salamander, absolute pain in the arse. There is a Frost Salamander if you go the other route. Also, pain in the arse. They're super quick. They hurt on contact because obviously they are fire and frost. And are just generally a bit of a pain in the arse to fight. Got the Boots of Levitation.
So what's worse about the other way that you picked this one instead?
I just don't really like it because, if I remember rightly, there are ice physics. Which are a bit of pain. Oh, Boots of Levitation got broken straight away. Excellent. Also, I just prefer this fight out of the two. The Frost one, I struggle. I mean, I understand. I'm struggling with this a lot. Don't get me wrong. But I find the Frost Salamancer to be a bit more difficult, personally.
I think you've lasted longer on this fight than most of the other bosses. But
yeah,
that might
probably.
be you started off with full health.
It's also because I was actually able to use the lightning bolt ring properly, which really did
help.
help.
That too, yeah.
Yeah, because they take off a good chunk of damage because they're just straight lines.
I feel like this game would benefit from just like a quick dodge, like a dodge roll kind of thing.
Do you know what? I have a sneaking suspicion there is one, but it's a really bizarre button combination that I don't know yet. It's fine. He's dead. He's dead.
He's dead, Jim.
Pick up all the good stuff. 70,000 XP, but no time bonus.
Honestly, I can definitely see like the enjoyability in this game. It's just too many enemies, not enough benefits for the player.
Basically, yeah. As this shifty man has just said, if you have one of the rods of like magic and of ice and fire or whatever, if you use those spells as a spellcaster, they are more powerful. So it is useful to have, but just not for me.
Yeah.
Air Castle. We couldn't think of a better name. It's the citadel of the dark sorceress Sin. Oh, you're shocked at the unbelievable sight. The thief talks to you. Me. I talk to myself. Wolf crystal from Damus's tower. So this is, I believe, the plot MacGuffin from the last game. Which has become a plot MacGuffin once more.
Yeah, Goldstorm Digi was talking about the slide earlier. He said he's not a fan of the quarter circle motion, and it doesn't seem especially useful anyway.
No, it's not. It does shrink your hitbox, so like, if things are hitting you from up high, you can, do it. Like I said, I just don't find it very useful for what it is. Now this level is fantastic. I love the Citadel, because there are secrets you can only open by pushing statues on things.
Okay.
So, this is... If you thought that like other areas of this game were padding padding it out, this is well and truly padding it out, because you move these things so slowly.
I see that.
Is it me? Is the statue missing its arms?
The statue is absolutely missing its arms. You're right. So the door in the middle, if I remember right, is the one you actually need. So you need to stand on one side and get the statue on the other. But the stuff behind these grates is equally useful. You just got to make sure you don't block the statue in anywhere. Oh, there isn't a roll and dodge. Oh, okay, that's a shame. It's fine, we'll make do with the slide. That I don't use. It's fine. We're just here to have a bit of a laugh, alright? That's all that counts. And by a bit of a laugh, I mean scream at everything. The thief has also got that little move that she just did, where she jumps on like an enemy's head and like stabs them a bunch of times. I don't actually know if that's a thing you can choose to do or if it just happens at like certain points, because I can't seem to trigger it manually. So I don't know if it's just like if you're in the right space, the right spot at the right time kind of thing, but I don't know. Petrify Beam. Whatever this thing is. Ooh, orb. I'll take it. I don't know what it does, but I'll take it.
It's a very descriptive name.
I know. Orb.
The names for this seem odd. We've had huge tree, air island, orb. Seems like bad translations, maybe?
No, I just don't think there's anything else to say about them.
Okay.
An orb is an orb. What more does it need to be?
Maybe the item names were given by actual D&D players, because, man, we are not very clever when it comes to naming things sometimes. Lord Lundar says the orb is a petrify and paralyze immunity.
Ooh!
It'll probably break in 2 hits.
I can't wait for that to get broken. That's gonna be great. There we go. Bring that back. Shadow Elves! Oh, it won't break! Sweet!
Oh, nice.
Oh, excellent. Keep hold of that. I can't remember why these guys aren't called Drow. Because that is what a Shadow Elf is. I'm not sure if that race hadn't been invented by the time this came out, or whether they just couldn't quite get the license for it.
I like how you took a second in the middle of combat to push the
statue a bit.
like it was messing with your OCD.
just hold up, guys. Just hang on.
Just like, sorry, guys. Need to get this real quick.
It's really nice. I don't want to like get it stuck because I do need it. And I also don't want to go. So that's the actual way out over there. So let's head up here first. So this is kind of, like I say, this is artificial lengthening of the game at its finest. Not only are there secret rooms, but there are secret rooms that you have to put statues in to get. So,
I mean,
true D&D experience.
They're optional, so the rooms themselves I wouldn't call artificial lengthening because you can just ignore them.
You can, but you shouldn't.
It's the enemies inside the secret rooms that I would say is artificial lengthening.
That's very, very true. But all these rooms are like really useful stuff, so. I'm sick of that welcome to the D&D world thing yet, because I am.
Typical day for Enya. One moment she's pushing a statue, and the next she's surrounded by half-naked shadow elf dudes.
Oh, same. Same. No, give me the
That sounds like a good Thursday night for Enya, though.
Earrings don't. So you can only have like one accessory slot. So the bracelet and the earrings that are currently on the floor will take over the orb that I have. So I don't want to use those. PO, I can't actually remember what this does. But it is like a one-time use magic item, so I'm assuming it's a spell or some description. I just can't remember what spell it is.
Okay.
I'm sure Londo might be able to help with that, actually. The man has a good knowledge. Let's just ignore the fairy on the right-hand side. Like, I know I need to go that way, but I'm not going that way yet. Oh, shut up. There's a time and a place.
It's just
Polymorph, thank you.
It's just like that fairy from, like, Ocarina of Time.
Oh, Navi, just constantly telling me where to go. So, if I remember rightly, oh yeah, there's now like a bunch of statues. There's a multitude of ways through this area, depending on whether you choose to open statue doors and stuff like that. So, in the last room, I could have just gone to the right and kept going. And just left that way, but because I've gone down this middle route, there are now 2 more secrets to find in here, which involve pushing more statues, but there's more to find, basically, because you've gone exploring. That kind of
Lundar says that the ring is polymorph.
God knows what a polymorph into, but I'm sure we can try that later. Oh, they're mines! Oh, I forgot about them. I must admit, I was literally playing this yesterday to make sure that I remembered stuff, and I have forgotten a lot of the stuff that I was supposed to remember. There is a lot in this game, to be fair.
You wouldn't believe how much time I spent practicing Mario Golf and Rugrats, and I failed horribly at those.
Oh god, Rugrats, man. That game genuinely gave me nightmares as a kid. It was the level in the toy store where Reptar's following you.
Oh yeah, I didn't actually do that one on stream.
Oh, I hated that level. I really did. I mean, there is an impending crisis going on outside. However, I've got things to do, like pushing statues.
I mean, you are a thief.
This is very true. This is very, very true. Also,
if you can't solve your problems in the time it takes me to get this loot, I don't care.
I think once you open these 2 rooms, I think you get a 3rd statue, or there's a 3rd statue on the left that you need to open the door in the middle. Because at first, it looks impossible. Oh wait, no. I think you need 2 players for it. Because there's 2 statues and 2 more blocks. I think you need a 2nd player. I'm not that bothered.
Quick, did you load up Parsec?
Quick, set up a second user that follows your movement exactly. No, I think you do need a second player actually, which is mildly irritating. Look at these giant scorpions, guys. They're huge. They're absolutely massive.
Yeah, those were in the fire cave earlier.
Yeah. But also, yeah, as a thief, you can just fucking pick up massive chests without a care.
Okay.
It's like the scorpions are trying to compensate for something.
Just like, hello, look at me, hello. That chime that you hear every now and again, I believe that means that all the enemies are going to leave the area. I'm not sure why it happens. I think it's just if you spend too much time.
Okay.
Also, I'm so sorry. I understand this is riveting gameplay right now, but there is stuff to steal, and I want to show you as much of this game as possible.
It's fair enough. While he's pushing that around, I guess I can shill once more.
Please do.
If anyone doesn't know, this is the last game of the HFC Retrothon. Again, this is it. This is the final one.
This is it, lads.
We're cutting things off after this, and you won't see us again for a year. No, there's going to be streams before that.
You won't see me for a year.
We have been raising money for Child's Play Charity. It's a charity that provides toys and games to kids stuck in hospitals for long periods of time to help ease their stay. It's a good charity. We've helped them out quite a few times.
Quite a few times now,
past many years. It's always a good time for us, and it helps the kids out. So it's just great, and we appreciate all the donations we've received. Let me check the page one more. I don't think we've received anything since Flame's big bomb that he dropped earlier. So we are currently sitting at $3,173.69, courtesy of our very own Flaming Claw.
That's sex number.
That's sex number indeed. Our goal was $19.99, so we have absolutely decimated, absolutely smashed it. It's amazing to see stuff like this. I absolutely love doing these because the outpouring of generosity from you guys is just awesome. It's always nice to do these kind of things. We love it. We would do it more often if we could, but
oh my god! Sorry to interrupt you. I've just got a hurry up message. The game is trying to make me hurry up.
You spent too long on this stream.
It's the game just trying to tell you to get the fuck out.
I think it is. No, I will not hurry up. I have things to do.
Kyrix, Flame dropped $300 about the time we started this game.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
He dropped a $300 donation.
Thankfully, it was just for that room. So once I left the room, I have sated the fairy. She's not going to come and murder me.
Those bags of money.
Legitimately didn't know that was a thing. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Flame said he had been saving the money up since last year. Yeah. And he's already put in quite a few donations throughout the rest of the marathon, so yeah, Flame did good. He definitely did good.
What we usually refer to as an MVP.
So, that time limit, is it bad that I could just imagine a fairy just holding a shiv?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was absolute murder. Let's move on. There's just realised there's another lever there. Disable that trap from coming down there. Another thing I just realised I haven't pointed out yet. Each character does have an alternate colour palette. If you press start instead of A to select the character, they get a different palette. I much prefer the Thief's Red palette, which is this one. Her alternate is like a white and grey, which looks quite nice, but I just prefer this red palette. Unfortunately, we have to go out the normal way because we can't progress any further because we are only one player.
Yeah.
but we now have to go the normal way. So we're back on track, everybody.
Yay! The fairy will finally be appeased.
Oh, hello, Telerin, again. Are you ready for some sweet pseudo 3D? After this fight.
Is this gonna hurt my brain?
Possibly. Oh, fuck. Wasted a fireball like an idiot. Oh, you piece of shit. Yeah, he's really hard to use magic against. I shouldn't be trying it. Because he just moves too fast and is a bit too hard of a target to hit. Also, he's very distracting in that dazzling choice of clothing. I love the Shadow Elf design in this game. It's just ridiculously camp. I don't know why.
I mean, he has some kind of skull over his pelvis. So.
That is the best codpiece I've ever seen in my life. I'll have you know.
It's probably the weirdest codpiece.
I mean that too. Yeah. So this is the thing I was talking about when he goes like hasted and like duplicates his sprite. It's just a pain in the ass to hit him because it's just so hard to actually catch.
Yeah, he did that during the last fight though.
Yeah, it's even worse here.
I see that.
Should this be what David Bowie would look like if he was a Shadow Elf?
Absolutely. This is what David Bowie would look like in a gritty reboot of Labyrinth. Yes, hello David Bowie, we've got a fantastic film opportunity for you. It's a adaptation of the arcade classic Shadow of a Mystara. You'll be playing Telerin. From your role in Labyrinth, we know you've got the crotch for it.
He would appreciate that, though.
Do you know what? That shot in Labyrinth didn't need to happen, but I'm so glad it did. There was no need for the gratuitous pan over his crotch, but...
I like how you keep getting the fire rod when it's pretty much useless to you.
Yeah, it is. I should have killed him by respawning. Shit. Also, I love that. One thing I love about this game is the icon for having no item equipped is just a guy shrugging, just like, yeah, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
I really want to know what Polymorph does, but I also really want to wait for a boss fight. Where it'll be probably very useless. But it'll be fun.
So how are you supposed to fight the gargoyle without any magic?
You don't! He just sits there and is a pain in the ass.
Oh, okay. And you can't move on until all the other enemies are dead?
No, I think you can skip. You can just walk out if you want.
Oh, alright.
Or you could just wait until you die and kill him by respawning.
I mean, yeah, that works too.
Look at all this treasure. Look at all these
I guess the
keys.
respawn counts as magic damage.
Yeah, technically it does, yeah. Oh, you can only have a maximum of 9 keys.
Still don't know what they're used for.
No, I really don't. I'm going to go up here because to the right looks like an actual way forward. So, yes, this was a good idea. Ooh! Ooh! Jesus Christ. So, if you open chests normally, you get, like, the trap, and then it tells you what kind of trap it is. You can also just slice them open, like I did just then, which doesn't tell you what trap it is. It just fires it straight away. You don't get, like, the little wind-up. So, if you're in the way of a trap when you slice it, that's it. You are fucked.
It looks like you got lucky on the
I
perspective
got
there.
very lucky on that perspective. Wait a minute. Hang on. Is this a magic axe? Or am I healing the gargoyle? I can't tell.
I think
I'm
you're just
healing
doing
the
a
gargoyle.
very...
I am healing it.
Huh. I feel like you were just doing a tiny bit amount of damage to it. Because it shouldn't have taken damage at all.
No. No. Oh no, there we go. Hang on. Oh god, I don't know what's happening anymore.
Maybe it's healing from something else.
Maybe. I really don't know.
Oh, just die and respawn and...
Yeah, no, I can't kill it. It's gone. It's too powerful.
Oh, okay.
Look, his slide moves have got me all over the place. Not all the thing visible are real. Not all the thing visible are real.
Okay, now that sounds like a translation problem.
Does the desperation attack there? No, it doesn't. Okay. I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave now. Ah, the arena. Don't test certainly much more powerful than that shadow elf fool who claimed he was a grandmaster. This guy is a douchebag. Oh my god, Ezahorden is horrific.
Oh, he's got the Xehanort fingers.
He also has Xehanort fingers. Okay, do you know what? Aww. I had to use polymorph on something, not myself, I think.
So, is this what Xehanort becomes after KH3? Just a...
Just a giant ghoul sprite.
What was that? He just kind of became a large mouth.
Yeah, oh yeah, he does that a lot.
He looks like a bomb from Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's what he does.
So if I remember right, the skeletons don't like actually die in this fight; they just exist. Could be wrong about that, but I think they stay around. No, they do seem to stay around. Yeah. One thing I will admit, and one thing I will give this game absolute credit for: the sprite work is phenomenal.
Yeah, it does look
especially on this
nice.
guy. The animations are superb.
I will say that it does look great.
Smack him right in the face.
Yeah, honestly, the fire effects around this arena look better than what I've seen in a lot of PS1 and N64 games.
Oh yeah, no, I know, yeah. I mean, arcade cabs, had exceptionally good hardware behind them for the time.
Yeah, because it was just simple, dedicated hardware.
Yeah.
To this one thing, so.
Also, I've now got nearly 5,000 silver. Let's stock up on some stuff. Hammers are quite handy because when you throw them, they can stun enemies, but other than that, they don't really have much of a use. Like most of the thrown items in this game, they're quite hard to use.
Yeah, I've noticed you haven't been using anything like that.
No, they're just, like I said, they're just not very good to use. They're a bit clunky, especially with the perspective issue.
I think two things that would help this game are a dedicated dodge roll of some kind, and being able to hold on to potions for use when you need them.
That would be quite good, yeah. Because even the ones you buy, you have to use there and then.
Yeah.
Also, what would be great is a different button to pick stuff up.
Yeah, like having picking up items and attacking on different buttons as well.
I mean, I know that like using the same button to pick up items is a staple of, the beat 'em up series. Don't get me wrong, but I've just realised whoever edits this and puts it up on YouTube, can you put like a epilepsy warning up somewhere, because a lot of the stuff has like immediate really bright flashes, and if you attack a lot of stuff in a short period of time, it gets a bit much, because when stuff dies, the screen flashes bright blue. So it may be worth just popping that on the description somewhere.
Yeah, most of the stuff on YouTube is just straight rips from Twitch, but there might be a way for them to add some kind of warning.
Even if it's just in the title of the video or in the description, because I think people would appreciate that. Because like I say, especially that section of just done where I killed 5 shadow elves off screen in quick succession was quite a lot.
Yeah,
because it's like the sort of critical hits kind of trigger screen flashes. So.
Ah, alright.
Yeah. I knew there was something I meant to talk about at the start and I completely forgot. So yes, Tom or Flame or whoever.
Flame's the one that's been doing the exports and stuff like that, which has been a big help. Getting all that stuff pushed over.
Good boy. He's a good boy. Yeah, the flashing is quite excessive. Yeah. So I think people would appreciate the warning. Oh no! Look at the little couple. Look at the little gobbles. There they come. But you know, this was Capcom in the 90s. They didn't care about people's health.
Yeah, epilepsy wasn't a big worry for game developers back then.
You'd have a page in a manual, and that was it.
If even that, really. I think most of the warnings just amounted to don't sit there staring at the screen for 9 hours.
Basically, yeah. And I just point out as well that the Shadow Elf archers have got the least amount of clothing of anything in this game.
Yeah, that's about...
They're literally wearing like a shoulder strap.
And I'm pretty sure they have jiggle physics as well.
Probably. Wouldn't put it past Capcom. But yeah, they're literally just wearing like a shoulder strap and, you know, a curtain that's falling off their hip. Like... Oh god, yeah, the flashes on the CRT cabinet would be horrible. No, I can't go. Unless I can force my way in. No, I can't. I think there's a way to get through there. I think you need magic of some description.
I don't think walking into the fire is going to get it done.
How dare you? It was worth a shot. Oh yeah, I think this works because there's like there's a lightning one here as well. I think it depends on what resistance you have. So if you've got like a ring of fire resistance, you can get through the fire doors. Stuff like that. I have not.
Oh, it's too bad that ring broke almost immediately way back when. And then 4 gargoyles because...
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. There's a secret door. So the way a lot of the traps in this game work is essentially just, like, try and force your way through it. Luckily, again, unlimited coinage.
Yeah.
Oh, you could double jump over those! Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Huh.
That's what the double jump's for.
Yeah, I didn't even know you had a double jump.
Yeah, the thief's the only one who does.
Like how you just picked up the chest and threw it across the fire.
You see, I have a shield of protection from evil, but because I don't have the ability to hold a shield, this room was pointless.
Huh. Well, that was just a waste of a continue.
Yeah, basically. But you know what? We learned something. That's what counts. Yeah, these guys definitely won't die. Let's just run.
I like how when she gets trapped in the blue flame, she gets like petrified, but her arms are in the air.
She's having a jive. It's fine. She's having a cheeky jive.
Tasty Meerkat says Enya's the kind of thief who asks to trap if that's its best.
Absolutely.
That you are best.
There we go. Oh yeah, light gun games are really terrible because that's when they told you, you know, when you'd shot 2 of the 4 Grandmasters. We'd better take a rest. An eternal rest! Hey, remember this guy from earlier? Yeah, he's got a big sword now. He's also a slightly different colour palette. I'm slightly annoyed with myself. I think I've taken the wrong route because there is another route where you fight. So you fight Tellerin, the guy from earlier, the elf guy.
Yeah.
But the green guy shows up to fight you alongside him. And if you kill Tellerin but not the other guy comes back in a later fight to help you out. Which is really cool. Like, you know, there's a concept of, like, if you save this guy, he will help you later.
So
this guy's a dick. This guy is really a dick.
Kyrix is making a pretty good observation. It seems like the critical hits are bypassing the damage immunity on the gargoyles, and that's why.
Oh! Oh, that's quite clever, then. Yeah, well, now we know.
Because whenever the screen would flash for a crit, they would actually take the damage.
Yeah. Ah. That would make sense, actually. I don't know why they insisted on having English. It's actually best. I really don't know. But it's fabulous, so... Because it just happens constantly, it's great.
Well, people were probably going to play this for like 5 minutes, so you got to put as much into the game as you could.
Yeah. I like this guy's like, because I like died mid-attack, he's just kind of very upset by the fact I'm dead.
No!
I have you forsaken me.
Just starts riffing off chop suey. Like.
Meanwhile, the skeletons were just constantly jumping.
I keep running into him when he's got the fire around him, and you're definitely not supposed to do that. It's fine, we're getting there. Oh, satisfying. Fortunately, you can't take his sword.
Aww.
I know.
Aww. That would be amazing.
Said to have been the strongest of all 4 Grandmasters. Oh, crystals reacting. Again, epilepsy warning. Fuck me.
Oh yeah, that's a bit rough.
You sure no one has even scratched that sin? Sin's fiery breath can incinerate anything in a blink. I won't try and step you. Good luck, you'll need it. Thank you for not stepping me. I appreciate that greatly.
How much would you say is left?
We're getting quite close to the end now, actually, I think. We defeat 3 out of 4 Grandmasters, so the final fight will take a while, but yeah, I'll let him know.
Yeah, I'll throw a message at Tom.
Yeah, we'll be there soonish. In a heart, dark heart. We've warped, but to where? What's this huge door? 3 question marks. Look, it's the title screen, everybody! This is legitimately the thing from the title screen as well. Just strolls on in. So you've come. I am the greatest of the Grandmasters. You cannot defeat me. And my several small children. So this fight is a ball ache for what is very evident reasons.
Oh, yeah? Oh my god!
Yeah!
Your health doesn't exist!
No. But it's okay because I'm hasty, so I can just punch everything. Look at how fast I can go!
It honestly seems like this fight would go faster if you just die and constantly respawn to damage them.
Essentially, yeah. The best part is that the only health bar is Nagba, who's the bird guy. He's the only one who has an actual health bar, so you don't know if you're like even damaging the other guys. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Deimos. He did already die once on this, possibly twice, even?
I think I'm gonna die twice. No, once. Just once. Now
just
it's twice.
Okay. Now it's twice. There we go.
God. I think if I remember right, just the idea of this is just to kill him and ignore everything else. Ignore obviously being the operative word.
I mean, as much as you can.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How many continues are you expecting for this, by the way?
At least like 40, 50.
You're currently at 44, so
Yeah, there you go. Sounds about right.
You're just about on estimate. Did you specifically ask for a counter for this Kyrex?
Yes, I did. Yes. Yeah, I specifically asked if somebody could keep track, so it is my fault. Because I'm curious. Oh look, it's the sexy lady. She's going to kill us now. As a dragon. If you let Tom know, I believe this is the final boss.
Oh, okay. I thought we were a bit further away than that.
No, yeah, I did. I didn't realise we were this close, but I think Sin is the final boss, so yeah, I'll let you know.
Oh, alright. Well, Tom just put a message in the stream chat, so I think he can hear you now anyway.
Yeah, cool.
Flame.
Absolute wreck.
Flame, you need to, like, keep it in your pants, okay?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Just... like, I know that you, like, go crazy over waifus.
It's fine. It gives us something to do. It's fine.
Tom says, so this is the famous dragon I've heard so much about. But where's the dungeon?
We're in the dungeon.
This whole thing has been the dungeon.
So, in case you haven't noticed, Sin is an absolute pain in the ass.
You can't see their health bar either.
No, because I haven't dealt enough damage yet. This is another one of the ones that need you to take some damage first before the health bar shows up.
Okay.
Where's that cursed sword? This can only go well.
It's a really good thing you have infinite continues.
Yeah. Using no cat. She's just come to say hello.
Was that one of yours?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Hello, it's over.
I could barely hear it.
Oh. Yeah, she's just sat by the door, just observing. Yeah, this fight will take most of the continues of the run, I imagine.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, it's horrible.
As bad as the last fight looked, this one looks infinitely worse.
Yeah. There's not really much you can do, it's just a case of just have to hit the head when it comes down. Like,
yeah.
that's about it.
I can't imagine literally anyone actually beating this whole thing in an actual arcade having to pay all the credits for this.
Yeah, not without a lot of money. On the plus side, I've got 1 million XP.
Yeah, I mean, whatever that accounts for.
Yeah. I'm level 22. No damage. Just in case you didn't hear, by the way, Tom, this is, as far as I'm aware, the final boss of the game, if you want to help. Oh, there we go! We've got a health bar!
Oh, nice.
Oh,
right, every one of your respawns has been doing damage to her, too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how much health this thing has, Jesus. I think you may have done about 2 whole bars worth of its damage, like
just from continues.
Bars, just from the continues, yeah.
Yeah. Quite glad continues take as much health loss as they do. Because my god. Also, I'm surprised Flame hasn't mentioned the thighs on this thing yet. Because they are very thick.
Well, I mean, Flame just got done playing Mario Kart where he was, you know, focused entirely on Bowser. So he's a bit distracted at the moment.
Also, the other really annoying thing about items that makes them mildly useless is that you can't throw them whilst airborne. So,
yeah.
For a fight like this, where, like, you know, you need to kind of be on the move a lot, doesn't really help. Okay, we're down to 1 health bar. We're getting there. We're getting there. This is just pain, the fight. Oh, special moves. Oh shit.
I mean, having the infinite continues kind of lessens the actual difficulty of it.
Oh yeah, yeah, thankfully, but I'm just might as well show off the alternate palette now at the final boss. Have a different colour scheme.
Oh, yeah, I like the red better.
Yeah, I much prefer the red. Yeah. So it's quite funny. So this is now technically like perma swapped. So if you continue by pressing A as you normally would, you stick with the white call scheme. So to go back, you have to press red. You have to press start again. So you have to continue by start. So it kind of toggles it every time you continue with the start button, rather than the A button. It's kind of a weird system. But...
Alrighty.
Oh god.
Alright,
Hello, hello.
Yo.
So, how are we doing here?
Nearly there? Question
Probably
mark?
sometime in the next 2 continues.
Probably.
Hey.
I should point out that continuing will not let you kill a boss outright. You have to take the final hit yourself.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Makes sense.
Because like now I've just continued and Sin's not taking any more damage because the final chunk of health is mine. But look at all this.
I assume you have unlimited continues.
Yes, I've got coins out the arse because they're all virtual.
Okay.
Ta-da! We beat a dragon!
Very
Yeah,
nice.
we beat the dragon and the dungeon.
I've lost, but with the fiend revived, I will have my revenge. You have defeated me, but I'll win in the end.
As long as they make guides for D&D, I will live on.
I can't imagine what the required time for the bonus on that is.
Oh god, I've no idea.
55 continues.
55 continues. Wow.
That actually seems not bad.
No.
Especially considering it was a solo run.
Yeah, it'd probably be a lot less with another player. Also, this guy's the Prince of Glantry, Malicier du Marias.
Neat.
Because, sure,
Alright.
what a name. They returned to the Principalities of Glantry, where people welcomed them as heroes, especially Enya, who had destroyed the huge dragon. So we got T1, so each adventurer has 2 endings, I believe, T1 and T2. Or 1 and 2, so in this case, because I'm Thief, I got T1. I believe one's the bad ending, one's the good ending, in inverted commas. Also, one of the people who did the objects for the game is S is a criminal. Masayo Sugimoto, the only one in lowercase. And Jun of Matamura, 28. So I'm not sure what happened to the other 27 of them.
Don't forget, a lot of this was so employees won't be poached and whatnot.
Yeah. MTA, open brackets, groovy, close brackets, Enchi.
I see. It's nice to have clarification.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Ryota Forever. Nishi, Mad Dog MC, Capcom All Staff, and you. That's right.
Katsuo!
Also, end question mark? Because yes, there are 2 endings.
I see.
So look at all the items we missed. These are all the items you could possibly get in the fucking game, including a Dragon Slayer sword. 42 treasure boxes, 9 hidden rooms, and a lot of the XP.
Alright.
And that is it. Yeah, so here I am at the top of the leaderboard. High grade traveller. That's right, I'm the high grade shit. And that is literally it. That is the end of Shadow over Mystara.
Excellently done, mate.
So, yeah. That was a game.
Alright, if you want to mute the game and just put the break screen on, not the thing we talked about, just the break screen.
I know.
Okay.
So, the break of screen is on. Is that your best?
Thank you guys so much for making the HFC Retrothon a success. I'm just going to go ahead and give it a final refresh. And we managed to raise, with a goal of $1,999, we managed to raise $3,173.69.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you.
A round of applause.
It's fantastic. Like, and I have to give credit to Neo first and foremost, because he was the one who came up with the idea for the Retrothon. It's his baby, and just to everyone involved, like all the runners, co-coms, and to the donors, viewers, everyone who helped make this a success, even if you were just watching and helped spread the word or not. I hope you had a good time, and HFC is going to be back in 2020 with another marathon, and I think it's time for us all to mute our mics and Digi for you to load that thing in, hopefully with the sound on.
Just before we do you mind if I quickly say something as well? Is that alright?
Go for it, mate.
Before we do, I just want to say that it's been really good to be back, actually. So thank you all for donating to get the incentive games in, because otherwise I wouldn't be here. Hey.
True.
But it has been really good to be back with everyone, and thank you for all your donations, because that is a good amount of money, and it's going to help a really good cause.
I hope you'll be with us for the next one, mate. But it is time to stop looking to the past and to look to the future. Shut up, you. So I'm going to mute my mic. You guys do the rest. And from me, Tom64, and all of HellfireComms and Digi, guests like HFC, etc., etc. We hope you've enjoyed the Retrothon, and there's a sneak peek of what's coming in 2020. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.